All right, security with methods, step 10 of the Meteor tutorial. So what this is going to talk about is, it talks about removing insecure. When you create the first Meteor project, the application, it automatically defaults to the convention of an insecure application. So it's allowing basically you to do change all kinds of data without any kind of security around it, which is answering a little bit of my questions earlier on. It seemed awfully open and easy, and you could create lots of issues from a data security perspective. And this will help address some of that. So we're going to start here and remove the insecure. So we're going to become more secure, I guess. We're going to gain self-confidence. We're going to remove insecurity. So once I remove that, I think we won't see the application will update. Or should update. Yeah, it's done. There it goes. Okay, so I removed it, and now it's restarted. I think we won't see. I can see everything. So I'm not sure. None of the input buttons work anymore. So none of this should work in theory. Yeah, so that's not working anymore. Oh, hang on. Yeah, so that's not working. Oh, yes, that didn't work either. So none of that's working. So we got to fix that. So here's how we fix it. We need to find some methods. Excellent. So we're going to go to the code, and we're going to define something these we call methods. So first we need to find some methods. Methods should be defined in code that is executed on the client and the server. We will discuss this a bit later in the latency compensation section. So this code will go outside of the client only block. So we're going to put this down here. So we have our methods. So we have our stuff running on the server. We have our stuff that only runs on the client. Methods run both on the server and the client. So this gets into the isomorphic JavaScript part of it. And we're defining three methods: add task, delete task, and set checked. Those represent those features I just tried to do. So add task, set checked, and delete task. I was not able to do those. So we define those three methods. We need to update the places where we were operating the collection of methods instead. So we were adding to insert, tasks insert. I need to change this. Change this to do this call. So it's going to call add task. Where we were updating the checked, we're going to call this method. And we were removing the task. And delete, we are going to go through this method. So that adds a little bit of security, as I was talking about, of it's directly modifying that particular task collection directly. This at least goes a method of indirection through these methods, Meteor methods, and I'm calling them, in which I can then provide a little bit more security on them. So here, as you see the add task, it's checking to see if there's a person's logged in, and if not, then it's saying not authorized. Otherwise, inserting the task in. So that is the level of security. Since we removed the insecure package, it no longer allowed me to just edit these tasks directly. It's basically the gist of it is. And this gets a little bit too into what they call latency compensation. I recommend taking a read into this, and I think they delve into a lot more in the Discover Meteor little online book that they have. That and they can get a sample for free, the first 7 chapters or so. But basically, it talks about how, instead of having to wait, the latency of having to have a request on the browser, go to the server and get the response back from the server, and then show the change on the client. It's both code is executing on the client. So it's again this isomorphic JavaScript where I'm executing this method on the client to add task, and it's adding it to the client, but then it's subsequently sending another request to the server to actually add it on the server. So it's doing both of those simultaneously. It gives an immediate change to the client UI, so the users can see that, hey, I clicked this, oh, I see the change immediately, more reactive, hence the name. To a reactive data store. So it gives you a better sense of dynamics of the application, and again moving away more towards traditional desktop application in feel than in a web application where I'm submitting something and I'm waiting for it to get back and the screen's not changing yet immediately, even though I had initiated a change. So that's basically what that talks about in my interpretation. But let's test this. We've added this in. All right, so we can now, should be able to change stuff now. So I should be able to say this is done. So it's done. See if this still works. This still works. Done. I should be able to, let me add this back. Delete it. Okay, and then I can add it back. Bam, and it's done. All right, so we re-enabled all those features that were broken when we removed that insecure package. And again, we did that through these methods that the client-side code is going to call those methods. Method is executing in the browser to make the change immediate, but then also it's sending a request to the server to actually insert it into the tasks on the server. So they're kept in sync, and the Mongo database is updated. And we went and checked the Mongo database, we'd see that these particular changes are occurring at that time. So this is just more of an introductory tutorial. As we get into more advanced Meteor tutorials and projects, then we'll see a little bit more how that operates. All right, so this again wraps up the step number 10, security methods. We will next move on to our last step in the tutorial, which is publish and subscribe. So publish and subscribe will get into, hey, I am James, why should I see Bob's tasks kind of concept. So it allows you to control the data that is sent back to the client, which is very powerful too. And again, helps with some of those concerns around data security that I had initially on the first introduction to Meteor. All right, so we'll get into that in just a second.